good morning. Hey now. Happy Monday, PSW staff, clients, friends joining us for a Monday film scoring class. Of course, this is when we look at a famous scene, famous movie. I take out the music. You come up with the best possible choice. We're getting better and better. We've done opera, we've done foreign music, we've done action, we've done thrillers, we've done horror, comedy. There's just a plethora of stuff out there that's really fun for us to sink our teeth into. Today I thought we'd kind of do a modern horror movie. Kind of came out in 2017, so that's modern a little bit. And there's some very cool scenes in it. This won't be too scary, and I won't show anything too scary in this class because we got to, make it family friendly for the kids. Today we're going to look at Jordan Peele's film, 2017 film, Get Out. Get Out, a phrase I heard a lot as a kid growing up, but not about my life. We're talking about the American horror film written, directed by Jordan Peele in his debut as a director. We know that he started as a comedian and started originally on Mad TV, and little did he know, and did we know, that he'd end up winning Best Original Screenplay for this at the 90th Academy Awards. So we're going to take a look at the movie and a little bit about Jordan Peele and a little bit about, and then watch the scene and talk about, what fits. So technically, this should be a fun day. So let's get into Get Out. So we need to get over there. We need to get out over there. Let's leave Fussen in Germany because Nazis are over there. So we need to skedaddle, and let's go over to Fairhope, Alabama. This is where they film the movie. This was a small little movie that ended up being very, very big. The budget was $4.5 million. It ends up making $255 million at the box office. And he wrote the first draft in 2 months. And the entire film was shot in 23 days. And like I said, he won Best Original Screenplay. It is an original film, whether you like it or not, whether it's your cup of tea or whatever. It's still exciting when you hear stories like this, because it shows you don't need to be Spielberg necessarily or George Lucas to make a huge, impactful film. And when people found out that this guy Jordan Peele, this comedian, was going to be directing a horror film, a lot of people were skeptical, and like, oh, okay, sure, we'll see if that works out for him. So who is he? Jordan Peele, born in New York City, 1979. So he's 42 years old, very young. And Breakout came in 2003 when he was a cast member on Mad TV, which would always kind of rival SNL. Mad TV was great. He was there for 5 seasons. And then Peele and his former Mad TV castmate, Keegan-Michael Key, they started their own comedy sketch, on Comedy Central, and came up with a lot of skits that went viral. And 2018, he says, with peace and love, I'm retiring from acting. And he wants to go into directing more. Directing, you have the power of, especially if you have a vision and you're a writer. If you have a vision and you're a writer, directing is what you want to do because you have something to say and you know how to show it. So he gets this big break in funding to film this movie. So Get Out is about this black man, Chris, and he's got a white girlfriend, and Rose, and he goes up to Rose's parents' house for the first time, in their house in the middle of the woods, and it starts off as just a regular story and becomes very surreal quickly, and there's some dark moments in it, and when they've reached the meet the parents milestone, of the dating world type, she invites him, for the weekend. So they go away, and at first he sees that the family's, very accommodating and very nice and very nervous around him because he's the black man, the only black man there, and but as the weekend progresses, there's discoveries here and there that are disturbing to him, to his character, and they lead him to weird things, and weird things start happening. It's a great commentary on race and the anxiety of being a black person. The film was made to show that. I mean, what racially motivated anxiety of being black means, and it goes through the mind of a black person. It shows you the mind of a black person, and in an interracial relationship with this girl, and meeting her parents for the first time, and what kind of, so he's using a realistic life situation, and adding a twist of horror to it, because that could be a horrific reality that people aren't accepting of you, or people aren't accepting of her, for choosing you. So it's complicated. Who wrote the music? Michael Abels, in 1962, born in 1962, composer and best known for this, and then Jordan Peele's other film, Us, which is even scarier, I think. And Peele called him up randomly at his day job, which is the music director at New Road School in Santa Monica, and said, "Do you want to write a score for this movie?" And it's kind of a funny movie. It's kind of, there's social awareness, social consciousness. There's we want kind of a horror soundtrack, but we also want gospel horror. It's kind of gospel horror music, and so the two of them kind of came up with a sound that was interesting. They wanted languages of slaves that weren't particularly musical, so they used Swahili because of its musicality. So at one point they were working with an 8-person choir and had them chant several phrases in Swahili, phrases like "run" and "listen to the truth." And so those are the words that you're hearing in the soundtrack, because the soundtrack is very, very cool. And what about your scene? This is probably one of the most famous scenes of this kind of pullback shot or zoom in shot of Chris. He's very scared. He's being hypnotized by Catherine Keener's character. There's a lot of layers of racism here. Can one be hypnotized? Sure, you can. It's a semi-legitimate science. You have to want to be, and I don't know how out of control it could be. This is probably a little bit too fantastical, but there's some scary parts in our brain that. So with this scene, Chris is asked to think back to the day that his mother died. So when he's hypnotized, and she asks him that, he goes into this deep hypnosis, and that's a little bit scary. Not too scary. Let's take a look at the scene. I'm just going to back it up a little bit, and we'll take a look at the scene you're going to be scoring.
Now, sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
So you hear kind of this ambient sound, maybe these voices, this kind of, and then these strings, these semi, not clusters, but they're just kind of, there's these sustained notes of these strings, these minor chords. It's not like Psycho. I mean, they are using strings, but it's not screeching. It's not fast, but it's very powerful and emotional with these chunks of layers of these minor chord strings. This is an important scene, and this is going to show the audience what Chris is feeling. So let's take a look. Sans music. It's still pretty scary. It's surreal. He's floating away. You're seeing a close-up of him at times. He's in this very deep layer of consciousness that's very scary. I want you to see if you can come up with something that's very dramatic and purposeful. This isn't going to be an action theme. This is semi-surreal. He doesn't know where he's going. We're going into a very dark part of his mind, or he is too, and we're going with him. And if you want to use sound effects, that could be a great idea too, because it is providing a whole ambience. Strings could work. They don't have to work. I'm just throwing ideas out. It doesn't have to sound exactly like this. You have some flexibility here. There's a pop song's not going to work. Lyrics are going to get in the way. So score this scene like Jordan Peele would call you and say, I need music here. What do you think would fit here? And see what works. We have some freedoms here. But, it's not Ben-Hur. It's not The Great Escape. It's not A Room with a View. We need to choose. So really pay attention. And if you need to go back and listen to the scene with the music, that's fine. Do it as many times as these are live, and after this premieres, you can go back and listen to it. I'm always here too to help. So really listen to what would be a good choice. If you want to copy the composer's score, that's okay. If you want to do something like that composer did, that's okay. If you want to take it to a different, darker realm or different realm, that's great too. And remember, if you send me a link with with a long YouTube, you need to narrow it down. You need to let me know, at least the minute of what you're talking about. Don't just send me an hour link. I need to know, just so I know that you're listening and you're really wanting to see this, your score on Friday. So get it to me by tomorrow. It's going to be great and fantastic. We're going to make it a great week. I'm just excited for everything. Okay, love you, miss you, see you tomorrow. Bye.